You break through your egg casing, barely the size of a paperclip, and immediately face your first crisis, water levels dropping fast. Welcome to existence. While other fish get the luxury of staying wet their entire lives, you've hit the evolutionary jackpot of inconvenience. Congrats on being born a lungfish, the fish that gets all of the disadvantages of both fish and land animals, with none of the perks. Your first few weeks are a blur of panic as you dart around your shrinking pond. The other baby fish don't seem concerned yet. But you've got lungfish instincts screaming at you that something isn't right. Sure enough, as the dry season kicks in, that comfortable little pond starts evaporating faster than your future plans of having a normal fish life. The water is getting muddier by the day, and oxygen levels are dropping. Other fish are gasping at the surface or floating belly up, but here's where your weird lungfish biology kicks in. You've got gills and a primitive lung. Time to put that evolutionary backup system to work. You swim to the surface and take your first gulp of air. It feels wrong and right at the same time, like eating ice cream for breakfast. As the pond shrinks to a muddy puddle, your body starts changing. Your fins, once perfect for swimming, now have to work overtime as makeshift limbs to push through thickening mud. It's like trying to use chopsticks while wearing mittens. Graceful? Number effective enough to keep you alive? Barely. The other fish didn't make it. Their permanent gills couldn't handle the lack of clean water. You, on the other hand, are preparing for the most dramatic lifestyle change in the animal kingdom. The puddle is now just wet mud, and your skin starts secreting extra mucus to keep from drying out. Gross but necessary. Now comes the really fun part. Your metabolism slows to a crawl as your body prepares for estivation. That's fancy talk for extreme survival nap time. You wiggle down into the mud, creating a little chamber around yourself. Your body produces a mucus cocoon that hardens around you like a crusty sleeping bag. To top it off, you curl your body into a tight little ball, creating a tiny air pocket inside your mud prison. Time stops meaning anything. Days, weeks, months? Who's counting? Not you. Your heartbeat slows to just a few beats per minute. Your breathing drops to almost nothing. You're basically the fish version of a computer in sleep mode, running on the absolute minimum power needed to not die. The dry season outside your mud cocoon is brutal. The temperature climbs, the ground cracks, and any non-lungfish would be fish jerky by now. But in your mucus-lined mud chamber, you're surviving by burning through your fat reserves slower than a snail crosses the street. Your organs shrink to save energy. Even your brain activity is dialed down to the absolute essentials only setting. What about food during this time? That's the neat part, you don't eat. For up to 4 years if necessary, your body becomes a master recycler, breaking down non-essential tissues first while protecting vital organs. It's like selling all your furniture to pay rent during tough times, but keeping the fridge and bed. Fast forward through your mud coma, and finally, the first rains of the wet season arrive. The droplets seep through cracks in the dried mud, reaching your cocoon. This is the alarm clock you've been waiting for. Your body slowly reactivates, like an ancient computer booting up. Systems online. Fish.exe is running again. Breaking out of your mud tomb isn't elegant. You wiggle and squirm, mucus and mud flying everywhere as you claw your way to the surface. Imagine waking up buried in dirt and having to dig yourself out while still half asleep. That's you right now. The pond is filling again, and other aquatic creatures are appearing from eggs or migration. They have no idea what you just went through. To them, you're just another fish. If only they knew you were basically a mud mummy a week ago. Once fully rehydrated, you get back to normal lungfish business, swimming around, using your gills again, and hunting. Your diet consists of whatever you can catch. Small fish, crustaceans, mollusks, even some plant matter when you're desperate. Your jaw is strong enough to crush shells, which comes in handy when the premium menu items are scarce. Now that you're a juvenile lungfish, about a foot long, life settles into a rhythm. Swim, breathe, eat, avoid being eaten. Standard fish stuff, except for your occasional trips to the surface to gulp air through that primitive lung of yours. The other pond residents give you weird looks every time you do it. Fish aren't known for their emotional intelligence, but if they could talk, they'd definitely be saying, "What's with the air-breathing weirdo?" Growth is slow but steady, depending on your specific lungfish flavor. African, South American, or Australian. You'll eventually reach between 3 and 6 feet. That's right, you're going from tiny hatchling to the size of a small child. Takes about 4 to 5 years, which is a lot of potential dry seasons to survive. Speaking of survival, you've gotten pretty good at it. When the water's plentiful, you're a powerful predator. Your muscular fins let you maneuver precisely, and those cone-shaped teeth aren't just for show. You can crush, tear, and grip prey with surprising efficiency. But the real survival flex comes with each dry season. While every other fish is having an existential crisis about the vanishing water, you're like, wake me when it's wet again. Your body has the whole mucus, cocoon, metabolic shutdown routine down to an art form now. Each time you emerge from estivation, you're a little bigger and a lot more smug about your survival skills. Let's talk reproduction, because even this isn't straightforward in lungfish world. When you reach sexual maturity at about 5 to 6 years old, you'll build a nest in shallow water during the wet season. If you're a male, you'll guard the eggs fiercely, fanning them with your fins to keep oxygen flowing. If you're a female, you'll lay the eggs and then peace out, because maternal instinct isn't really your thing. The wild part? Some lungfish species can live up to 100 years. That's a century of alternating between normal fish life and mud mummy existence. By your 50th birthday, you've probably spent a solid decade of your life in suspended animation. As an adult, you've mastered the lungfish lifestyle, swimming when there's water, estivating when there's not. Your primitive lungs can extract about 90% of the oxygen from the air you breathe, more efficient than many land animals. Your brain has adapted to handle low oxygen conditions that would kill other vertebrates. But it's not all survival superpowers and breathing tricks. Being a living fossil has its downsides. Your kind has been around for 400 million years, with relatively few changes to your basic design. Why? Because you're stuck in evolutionary limbo, not quite committed to land, not fully optimized for water. You're the animal kingdom's version of someone who can't decide on a major in college. And then there's your bizarre DNA situation. Your genome is about 40 times larger than a human's, filled with what scientists call junk DNA. It's like your genetic code is a hoarder, refusing to throw anything away for 400 million years. We might need this random sequence someday. As you age, threats become fewer. Not many predators are interested in tangling with a 6-foot mud-dwelling air breather with strong jaws. Your biggest concerns are habitat loss and those pesky dry seasons getting longer each year. One particularly harsh dry season, you burrow deeper than ever before. Your mucus cocoon thicker, your metabolic shutdown more complete. As your consciousness fades into estivation, you wonder if this time the rains will come back at all. But that's a problem for future you. Right now, it's time for another epic nap in your snot-lined mud coffin. Sleep tight, you magnificent evolutionary weirdo.